Andrew here to raise your awareness. What are you saying about yourself? Because the tongue is the rudder for how you want your life to go. If you've ever caught yourself saying, I'm trying to lose weight, or I'm trying to save money, those words are not certain. And those words will fail because you're trying, you're forever trying. Let me just tell you a little something about sales and speakers and the people who have achieved great things. They're absolutely certain in what they're doing. There is a certainty about what they speak about. And that's how they get to the place that they want to get to. And that's what you've got to do. That's what we've got to do. I'm working on being absolutely certain about the person who I am and who I'm becoming. And the reason why this whole thing shifts is because one reason is because you don't believe that you're enough. So if you don't believe you're enough, that's really the underlying thing with most people. I'm taking a course right now, it's on abundance, and this is the reason why most people don't achieve what they want to, because they believe that they're not enough. So one thing you can do to really change this and really change who you really are is write I am enough on the mirror. I know it sounds cheesy, I know it sounds corny, but that really is the game changer for you. And if you can read this and write it and say it out loud enough times that you are enough, it's going to change the direction of your life, because you're not just a homemaker, you're not just a janitor. You are a janitor. You are a homemaker. Does that make sense? Be proud of that. So if you are enough, that means that you can become enough for the next version of your life, right? If you repeatedly do that, you could say it out loud, because there's a thing that happens, there's a phenomenon that happens when you say things out loud. Your ears hear it and it vibrates into your subconscious. So that's what you've got to do, is repeat it enough times so that you start to believe it. Because you can tell someone enough times, you can tell someone a lie enough times, and then what happens? You start to believe it. So if you can do this for yourself, I believe in you. You can really do this. This is another reason why I'm going to be reading the same book over and over and over, The Science of Getting Rich. This book, it's changed my life completely. And what happened was, it's a really tiny book, and I've got a whole series on it. But what happened was, after reading this book, it's changed my thought patterns. So as soon as I have a thought about doubt or something like that, the book that I've read so many times has overtaken that thought pattern. I've completely uprooted the old thoughts. So if you can do this enough times, repetition is one way that you can change your subconscious. The other way is an emotional impact from a trauma or something like that. It doesn't have to be trauma, you can just emotionally impact it. But it's so important. And if you say, I'm losing weight or something like that, well, if you're losing something, what do? You try and find what you lose. So you've got to really pay attention to the words that you're saying, because the words are so important. You're not losing weight, you're releasing weight, because you don't want that weight back, right? So just be very conscious of the words that you're saying. And if you catch it, you could just stop talking and then just zip it, and then just know that you're saying it and then correct it. You become more aware of it once you really start to pay attention. But there's a mentor that I follow that I think you should too. His name is Bob Proctor. He's an older gentleman that's read the same book for the last, I think, 65 years. So there's a story that he's got that he went up to a person who reads a lot, and she asked, well, what book are you reading? And he said this, Think and Grow Rich. And then the next 2 years, he sees a person again who's an avid reader, and she asks him again, oh, what book are you reading? He says, Think and Grow Rich. So he's read the same book for 63 years. This is sunk so far into his subconscious that this is who he is. So I'm going to be reading the same book probably for the next 6 months, a year. I'll read this book, but I'll also obviously take in new things. But this is the book that I think you should be reading on a daily basis. And it's really short chapters, so you can leave it above the toilet if you want to, read that bad boy every time you're on the toilet. But this is really a great one, Science of Getting Rich, because it really focuses on who you want to become. I mean, it's the automatic thought patterns that's going to change who you are. So another way to really change the words that you're saying is relax into the feeling of who you want to become. So if you can just relax like you've already got it, then you can start to embrace the person who has it. Because say if you are a billionaire, what do billionaires do? They're fully relaxed. They're not scrambling everywhere to try and figure everything out. They're fully relaxed. They're in tune with the person they are now. So you can chase away the vibration if you scramble around everywhere, and if you're constantly chasing and racing and rushing. That's one of the concepts in the Science of Getting Rich too, is rushing around. You want to do everything that you can do that day without rushing. So it's a big game changer. And if you want to keep raising your vibration, first watch your words, then like this video and subscribe to this channel. We'll see you on the next one.